The NBA free agency started on June 30th at 6 p.m. Nearly 12 hours has passed, but I still couldn't believe in what just happened. What I knew is that this summer was going to be crazy. What I didn't know was that this summer was going to be this crazy. Players that we thought were going to stay chose to leave. Players that we thought were going to leave chose to stay. There are a lot of interesting signings that I think should be talked about. And yeah, let's take a look. The first signing that I want to talk about is Derrick Rose signing with the Detroit Pistons. Derrick Rose, whose NBA career was nearly over last summer, revived his career in the 2018-2019 season. In the 51 games that he played this season, D-Rose averaged 18 points, 2.7 rebounds, and 4.3 assists. The one thing that Derrick Rose did that surprised many people was his three-point shooting. This season, Derrick Rose attempted 2.9 threes per game and he shot 37% from beyond the arc. Remember a few years ago, Derrick Rose was considered an inconsistent shooter that cannot shoot threes. D-Rose's shot creating ability is something that the Pistons desperately need. Drummond is an elite rebounder and defender, but he can't do much on the offensive end. Blake Griffin is a versatile big man that can facilitate, shoot, post up, and handle the ball, but Blake will be exhausted if he needs to carry the load alone every single game. You want to keep your best player fresh and energetic. Reggie Jackson is a point guard that can create for himself, but he also needs to rest when necessary. Rose is a great ball handler, shooter, and he has no problems creating for himself and his teammates. Derrick Rose is the third best mid-range shooter in the league percentage-wise. He is clearly an upgrade from Ish Smith. Last season, the 6'3" Rose netted an excellent 1.071 points per possession in isolation percentage, while Smith converted on an underwhelming 0.667. Also percentage, Rose was more effective than Smith as a pick-and-roll ball handler and a touch more effective in transition. I know Derrick Rose has a long injury history and he only played 51 games this year, but personally I don't think it's an issue. The contract that the Pistons signed Derrick Rose to is only 2 years long and he is only making around $7.5 million annually. I think the Pistons made a great move and I'll give them an A. The second signing that I want to take a look at is Jimmy Butler signing with the Miami Heat. This is a sign and trade because the Miami Heat doesn't have enough cap space to sign Jimmy Butler directly. To be honest, I'm really confused by this move. What does Jimmy Butler exactly want? Is a full 5-year max contract what Jimmy wants? If that's what he wants, he should have stayed in Philadelphia. The 76ers are willing to offer Jimmy Butler a 5-year, $190 million contract, but obviously Jimmy said no. Is the championship ring what Jimmy wants? If a ring is what Jimmy wants, he should have stayed in Philadelphia. Do you want to play on a team that has two young talented stars and cap space, or a team that's filled with mediocre overpaid players? I'd like to pause here because I want you guys to know that overpaid players like Dion Waiters are on expiring deal. Does Jimmy Butler want to play in a big market? I mean, Miami is probably bigger, but Philadelphia is in no way a small market. Does Jimmy Butler want to be the focal point? Does he want to have his own team? I really don't get it. Those are just some of the questions that I want to ask. Now let me break down this move. From the standpoint of the Heat, it's a good move. Signing Jimmy Butler can help them stay competitive. Jimmy Butler is the top 15 player that can play at a high level on both ends of the floor. And he has proved that he can lead a team before. The Minnesota Timberwolves made the playoffs for the first time in 14 years because of Jimmy Butler. He averaged 22.2 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 4.9 assists, and was their most important player. Before Jimmy was injured, the T-Wolves were clear third seed in the West. In the last game of the regular season, Jimmy dropped 31 points on the Nuggets to push the Timberwolves to the playoffs. I also need to remind you all that tanking is not part of Pat Riley's plan for the future. Just take a look at what he said on April 13, 2019. First of all, it's hard to do that. You gotta be really bad to do that, he said. I'd have to go to the G League and get everybody out of the G League and do that. But it's hard to finish in the bottom 5, but if you are ever sniffing around the area when you are trying to win, then you get maybe down. I have done that twice. I did it in 2003 and I did it in 2008. And that was in the best interest of the organization. The Heat wants to be better and be more competitive. Jimmy Butler is available and he can help the Heat accomplish what they want to accomplish. The Heat also has Justice Winslow, Bam Adebayo, and top draft pick Tyler Hero, and enough cap space to land some good players in 2020. This move was not bad, so I will give them a solid B+. Last but not least, let's shed some light on Kemba Walker. I know what some people are going to say. Oh, it's a dumb move. Oh, it's just wasting time. But how? If the Celtics didn't sign Kemba Walker, who are they going to sign? Terry Rozier? The Celtics have been through a lot this summer. Their best player Kyrie Irving chose to go home to play for the Brooklyn Nets. Their second best player Al Horford signed with the 76ers because the Celtics were unable to offer him a contract that he wanted. They tried to pair Kyrie up with AD, but they failed because they resist put Jason Tatum in a trade package. In my opinion, I think the Celtics should still try remaining competitive. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are talented, but their value also gets overestimated. Jaylen Brown has been playing in the league for 3 years, but he still has problems creating his own shot. Jason Tatum is not as good as we thought he was. He is obsessed with taking mid-range jumper and he's not good at passing. The Celtics need someone like Kemba Walker to control the offense. Kemba Walker this season dished out the 11th most assists and he also finished top 25 in assist percentage. Kemba is also a master at running pick and roll. Kemba ranked first among pick and roll ball handlers in terms of frequency and third in points per possession out of all the pick and roll players. The one thing that Kemba is better than Kyrie at is that Walker never runs away from contact and he can get to the free throw line. This season, Kemba averages 1.8 more free throws than Kyrie did. Yeah, Kemba is not as good as Kyrie Irving is, but he can still do what Irving can do and they are on the same level. Walker can finally play with some good talented players. The Celtics can remain competitive. I think it's a decent move, therefore I will give them a B. So guys, this is today's video. I just want to make a video to talk about Day 1 of the 2019 free agency and share my thoughts with you. What do you guys think of the 2019 free agency? I believe this is only part 1 and I think part 2 will come out after Kawhi Leonard makes his decision. So if you like this video, be sure to like, hit the subscribe button and leave a comment down below. With that being said, I am out. Peace. And don't forget to subscribe and I am out. Peace.